Alright, so what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. I've had this really weird thing with my Modern Warfare 2 lately where every so often I'll load up the game and for some reason the game has just decided to uninstall itself. Like I don't know how else to describe it. Like if we go over here to manage files, Modern Warfare 2, you'll see that here that I've got the campaign and the co-op not installed, but I have the multiplayer. The reason that being is because it uninstalled all three of these modes, and I think it did Warzone as well actually, but I don't know why. Like, I didn't uninstall these. I tried to get on to play Search and Destroy with my mates, and it just uninstalled itself. So I was like, okay, I need to reinstall it. And then I made a video. I came back later on, and then it uninstalled itself again. Like, it uninstalled the campaign, the co-op. Like, before I installed all of them, just, you know, why not? I just thought I'd just do it all. But then this time when it happened for the second time, I was like, nah, fuck it. I can't be arsed. I'm just going to download the multiplayer. If it happens again, it's only a 20 gig install, whatever. But it's just such a weird thing how I've come onto the game, and even weirder as well, I'll say, I've gotten on to record videos multiple times when the multiplayer hasn't been installed, quote unquote, but for some reason I can still play shipments. Like, I've gone into private match to make a thumbnail, it's uninstalled. I've gone to try and play Search and Destroy or any of the other game modes, multiplayer's not installed, but I go on to shipment and it works. I can play shipments but nothing else. It's just annoying because I'd get on to play with my friends or I get on to make a thumbnail for a video or whatever, and I just can't get on and do those things because the game just thought, you know what, I don't want to be on this guy's console. Fuck him. But anyway, with my little rant out of the way, the main thing I want to talk about today is XDefiant. Now, you guys know about XDefiant. I've talked a bit about it on this channel. I haven't made too many videos because I haven't played enough to sort of warrant the, like, constant conversation. Plus, I'm not really, like, a news guy. Like, I don't really like making news videos. I like to talk about news, like, just sitting down, chilling like this, you know, when I get round to it. I like to do it as soon as possible, like, say, with the next stuff as well. Like, I did make a video as soon as possible. That's more like, you know, a big event sort of thing. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about like individual leaks and, you know, that kind of shit. But anyway, XDefiant. So this is a game that is a highly anticipated FPS. It's basically OG Call of Duty, but in the modern day, made by Ubisoft with specialist sort of characters, I suppose. Like, they're sort of like specialists. And I was very much looking forward to it. From the beta, the public beta that came out for the game, I played one match of XDefiant, and off that one match, I can confidently say that it's better than Modern Warfare 2. It's probably better than a lot of the Call of Duty games we've had the past 5 years, and unfortunately it's been delayed. So I'm going to show this statement here on the screen. If you want to read it, you can go ahead and do that yourselves, but basically what they say is, we did a playtest on PC earlier in the month, and we found some stuff we need to fix. And don't get me wrong, I really respect the fact that they want to launch this game properly. They want to do it right. They don't want to have a disappointing launch for their community, and I do respect that, but I think they're sort of being a bit unrealistic here. I think they're trying to release a game that is literally perfect, zero issues whatsoever, and that just isn't really a thing in modern games. Like, I know we've had this sort of mindset. Oh my god, I've got 15 fucking tags. Oh, I've gone to the wrong place as well. Go. Kill streaks, yes. Oh, fuck off. You're kidding me. What was I saying? Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I feel like they're trying to release the game, like, completely perfect. And like I say, I respect that, but I think they're sort of shooting themselves in the foot here because this isn't like a Call of Duty game. Like, you know, it's going to have guaranteed sales. It's going to have guaranteed popularity. XDefiant is really a game that came out of nowhere and took people by storm. And that was before it even came out. I think that was even before the beta properly came out. Like, or maybe the beta was like the turning point. I'm not too sure. But like I say, this is a game that you can't really, like, it's not like with Call of Duty where we've got Modern Warfare 2 content stringing us along before Modern Warfare 3 comes out. So if Modern Warfare 3 got delayed or whatever, we've got Modern Warfare 2 to keep us going. We've got content there. I know it's not a great example, but hey, I'm trying here. Whereas XDefiant, there's also a lot of competition in the FPS region as well. Like, maybe not in like the sort of Call of Duty casual, like team deathmatch, you know, whatever you want to call it, but there's a lot of competition, and I feel like XDefiant is sort of being forgotten by people. And once again, I want to say, don't get me wrong, I respect the fact that they're trying to, you know, squash down all the bugs, make it a perfect launch, but I think they're just trying to be a bit unrealistic, and I think eventually it's going to get to the point where the game releases and people don't care anymore. Like, I personally am really looking forward to the game, and I will play it no matter when, but you've got to bear in mind, you know, I'm a kind of neek who sits at home and, you know, looks on the internet all day, watches YouTube videos, you know, follows, like, you know, Twitter posts or whatever. The casual person who just plays games every so often probably doesn't even know of XDefiant, and if they do, it's by the very off chance that, you know, the beta being so popular as it is, days, it just sort of turned into a whirlwind where everybody heard of it. But I'm just worried that the average person is going to forget about XDefiant. It's going to come out and they're going to go, oh yeah, XDefiant. Oh well, like, you know, that was whatever. Fucking move! Get out of the container, please, man! Fuck off! So my main concern is that it's not going to be as popular as it once was because the hype is sort of dying down. Like, people can say, oh yeah, no, it's not dying down just because it's been delayed. It means we're actually getting a good product. Like, yeah, for people like me, for people like you watching the video who actually talk about this stuff online and actually follow it, yeah, it doesn't matter because I know for a fact I'm going to be playing it. I know for a fact my friends are going to be playing it. And people watching this video, I'm guessing, are going to be playing it when it comes out. But I just think the constant delays on a few bugs, I think isn't really... I don't think it's worth it. I think they could have released the game. I mean, obviously, if we're talking like game-breaking if we're talking like game-breaking bugs and, you know, things that actually get in the way of the experience of the game, I understand that, but they have an AC-130. Absolutely not. See you later. But I just think they could 100% release the game, have a feyu bugs, and then sort of squash them down throughout the preseason, and then have Season 1 be like the main launch. And I don't want to get the wrong impression here. I'm not saying that I think games should be unfinished on release and we just get updates to fix it. That's not what I'm saying. Because I know for a fact there have been so many games that have released unfinished and they've just tanked because of it. Like, the one that comes to mind is Cyberpunk. Like, I remember everybody was dying to play Cyberpunk when that came out. It released unfinished and it just killed it completely. Like, yeah, people might say it's good nowadays, but it doesn't matter. It's the same with Battlefield 2042. It released unfinished, people didn't like it, and now no one cares about it. Although I still think it's a fun game to play every so often, it's not a popular game by any means. And I'm not saying this should be a standard that, you know, for every single game, you know, we just get an unfinished product and we get updates. But I just think XDefiant is very much in a playable, like, not even playable, like a very enjoyable state. Like, I'm talking from the beta here. Like, this is a long time ago, sure, but I think XDefiant was in a very releasable state. Like, I think it was in a very solid state. The only bugs and issues and inconsistencies there might have been were very minor. Like, obviously, I'm not a dev, I don't work on the game, but that's just from an outside perspective looking in. This shotgun looks so fucking cool, by the way. This Doom shotgun. That is one of the coolest blueprints for a gun I've ever seen in a COD game. Like, if I thought that XDefiant was going to be as popular if it released today as I did in a year, then I would say 100% take the year and make it as good as and polished as you can. Like, I understand that completely. But at the same time, you know, the greatest playtesters for games are the community, realistically. Like, think about it. Playtesters at Ubisoft, there's probably a couple hundred max. There's not going to be many. Whereas if they released XDefiant tomorrow, they have access to a minimum like 5,000-10,000 of them. So you're going to find bugs a lot easier. You're going to find the way they're, you know, fixed a lot easier. So I just think that they should release it in a very good state at least. Like, I think squashing down every single bug and issue in the game is just unrealistic, and like I say, I think the community is the best playtesters, and you'd be surprised how quickly things can get solved if we have access to the game. I'm not just saying that for you to give it to us, like, I genuinely mean that. But they're literally saying in their statement, one of the reasons they've delayed the game is because issues were found in that PC playtest, because so many people played, and they found stuff that maybe the playtesters wouldn't have found, and I just don't want to see this game fail. Like, that's just my number one thing. Like, obviously, I don't want it to release unfinished, but at the same time, it's not like Cyberpunk or Battlefield, where it's horribly unfinished and unplayable. Like, it's genuinely in a very good state. But being realistic, there's probably only a couple of issues and stuff that's preventing this game from releasing, and I just don't want to see them keep pushing back the game and delaying it to the point where it's nowhere near as popular as it was. Like, I just want to see this game do well. One thing that is probably surprising that's about making videos is that your mouth goes really dry really quick. Like, I've been talking now, how long have I been recording for? 15 minutes, and my mouth has gone incredibly dry. Like, it's like the fucking Sahara in there. Oh yeah, just yesterday as well, we had the Modern Warfare 3 beta end, and I'm really sad I didn't get an opportunity to play. I'm really pissed off because I installed the wrong thing, basically. So on my PS5, I thought I was installing the COD HQ to then download the COD beta, but it turned out I was just installing the Modern Warfare 2 beta, even though it was named the COD HQ or something like that. but it was the Modern Warfare 2 beta, so I installed the wrong beta, basically, which is fucking amazing. So then I realized, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna install the actual beta. I installed it. I got home tonight around about 4:30, I think, and I thought it had ended already. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna bother. And then I saw a post that it actually ended today, so I could have played for a good hour and a half, 2 hours, and I just didn't. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that. But on the plus side, I mean, we're getting the beta for Xbox literally tomorrow as this video going out, so there's nothing to worry about there. I'm going to be playing it in a couple days. But I want to talk a little bit about Sledgehammer and their response to the Modern Warfare 3 beta. So they put out a statement. I'm not going to show it on screen and read it off or anything, but they basically said, thanks for playing, we're going to listen to the feedback. Here's 3 things that we're working on. I think it was like slide timing, visibility, and one other thing I can't really remember. And I've seen a lot of people making videos and posts talking about how Sledgehammer are the best thing since sliced bread, and they always listen and they get things fixed so quickly and they're responding very quickly. And I just want to remind you, right, listen to me. I just want to remind you that this is the exact same thing that happened with Modern Warfare 2, and this is why my hopes for that game were so high, was because at the end of beta weekend 1 for Modern Warfare 2, they made a blog post extensively talking about the issues and stuff that people had with the game, and they talked about how they were going to address things in the future, including disbanding lobbies. I remember it so well because I made a video that very weekend, and I was talking about, like, oh my god, I can't believe how good Infinity Ward are. But I remember it so well. I was basically rim-licking them, saying that, oh, Modern Warfare 2 is going to be so good. Like, yeah, it has these issues, like, say, the perk system and, well, everything that remains in the game to this day. I remember they addressed some of the issues, like, say, the perk timings, for example, with the perk packages. I'm pretty sure they, like, reduced the timer significantly or something like that, and they were addressing the feedback. They made a blog post about it. They were promising feedback, not feedback, like, communication throughout the rest of the year. So I was sat there going, oh my god, this is amazing. You know, we've seen a real change with Infinity Ward here, and then they disappointed us with the rest of the fucking game. As Captain Price once put it, lie of the fucking century that was. And it's not really fair on Sledgehammer, because I know they're a different development studio, but Sledgehammer are genuinely one of the best development studios when it comes to player feedback. Like, they are so community driven compared to the other two. It's crazy. Like, they're constantly on socials talking to people. They'll always talk about what they're doing next, and you know, they're a lot better than the other two studios, and that's why I think I have a little more faith. I'm a little more willing to believe this year. But when you've believed as many times as I have about Call of Duty, it becomes hard to believe. That's all I can say. Like, I've had expectations raised and disappointed now for well over 12 years of Call of Duty, and I just want to say it's not fun. It really isn't fun. Don't do what I did. So I'm just going to say I remain cautiously optimistic about Modern Warfare 3. I mean, it looks amazing, like, just from the gameplay that I've seen and heard people talking about. It sounds really good. It sounds fluid. It sounds, well, better than the garbage I'm playing now. The thing is, I say that, I don't even hate the gameplay of Modern Warfare 2. Like, yeah, sure, it's not as quick and, you know, slide cancelly or whatever as Modern Warfare 2019, but I think the movement is still genuinely pretty fluid. It still feels very responsive compared to a lot of other games out there as well. Infinity Ward said they were going to listen. They said there were going to be changes this year, and they didn't deliver on those changes. That's why Modern Warfare 2 is so just disappointing to the COD community, and especially to me as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I really do like Modern Warfare 2, I can't lie. Although a lot of people really chat shit about it, I do like Modern Warfare 2, and I've had some great memories on this game, but it's just nothing short of a letdown. Like, because this game could have genuinely been one of the best COD games that has come out. And I remember saying that at the start of the game as well, that this genuinely could have been one of the best COD games. But in addition to their stubbornness, they just changed shit that didn't need to be changed, like the perk system, for example. What the fuck were they cooking when they thought of that system? I mean, they didn't even go back and change it. That's the thing. They actually went back on a positive change from the beta for the full launch of the game and never fixed it since. They made a change from beta weekend 1 to weekend 2 that everyone universally liked, and then got rid of it for the launch of the game. What? In what universe does that make sense? Yeah, all in all, I'm just worried about XDefiant. I mean, I know it's going to be a solid game and it's going to be enjoyable at the launch of the game, but I'm just worried it's not going to be looked in the light that it was around about the beta time, and I'm just worried it's not going to be as popular as it was around then either. And the reason why I'm rooting for XDefiant to do well is because I want it to rival Call of Duty and put a light up their asshole, because I want them to realize that they can fall off. Although they can't, I want them to at least have the idea that they can fall off and lose to someone else, because Call of Duty has been king now pretty much since its inception. So if XDefiant just comes out of nowhere, takes people by storm, and people slowly start trickling over to that instead of this franchise, maybe Activision will do some positive things and actually make this franchise as good as it can be. But that's going to do it for today's video. XDefiant is delayed. We don't know when.